Hello friends, welcome back to another Value Vintage Cards video. So in this video I'm going to share kind of a just encompassing recent pickups. So my local card shop made a stop the other day, dropped a whopping $10 there. So just, you know, again, I always say it's keeping that relationship open. It's seeing if there's anything shockingly new, but a lot of times it's just a matter of, you know, having some hobby time with a local friend. So nothing crazy there, but I'm going to share 1, 2, 3 other pickups that I made from I think maybe all eBay, but I'll share those as they come along. So here's what I scored at the card shop. Let's start there. And it's not bad. I think it totals by sticker $14. So took it up to the counter where he was at, and he said, what do you got today? And I said, not much, $14. He said, so what are you thinking then? 10 is what you're thinking? And I said, 10 sounds real good. So it's that classic, you know, again, I'm born in 77, so when I see things from like, you know, 79, like a Lou Brock, or a Willie McCovey, like those were things that I didn't get a chance to open as a kid. But when I did see them, I knew that was an older kid in the neighborhood had it, or it was the local card shop had it, and didn't always have the money to get that. You know, grip and, you know, not a ton of funds. Not that I didn't find ways to support the hobby, but, you know, Bench and Dick Allen. It's a 1973 Topps card. You know, so again, it's paying what's just over 70%, so I was like a 72-cent card. One of the guys he's in the hobby, and the more I see Rally Fingers, I see pictures of him on Facebook, I see, you know, videos, Chasing Cardboard episode where he was in it, like, just seems like such a great person, and, you know, Hall of Fame pitcher. So that's a 1977 as well, so that's the year I was born. These are neat. I try to grab the unique stuff. So it's an 81 Topps Carlton, but it's a Coca-Cola version. So, you know, score that for $1. That's pretty fun. Nice combo. I'm trying to get a little more exposure to those guys, especially when it's like this. So you get the LK line, which is super awesome. But, you know, pick up a Norm Cash. He's a Hall of Very Good. He'll never be a Hall of Famer, but, you know, we'll take that. This guy, I think, should be a Hall of Famer. I think she just picked up the O-Pee-Chee as well. You know, off card, little rough. I mean, it's 70 cents, guys. If you criticize that card, you know, go spend $71 on one slabbed up, all pretty. But, you know, I'll take 71 cents over $71 any day and still enjoy the card probably just as much. This guy I collect, so when I see unique little offshoots. So what is this thing? This is a 87 Fleer something. I don't know. I don't even know why it looks different, but it's not something I would have seen in the regular 87 Fleer set. So this is award winners, so probably some little subset they issued at some point. You know, again, it's 18 cents, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of research into digging into that. This one I shared the other day on our Mount Rushmore video for the White Sox. The Blacklist issues from 82, so this one's not Blacklist. It does seem a little faint. There's actually some that get labeled as Blacklist that don't seem to be, so I'm curious what the line on something being Blacklist is. If it is a level of faintness, or if it has to be removed, because there's definitely some that are slabbed that aren't right. So I'm not sure. With this gentleman passing, I think I probably missed peak Fernando Mania, but he was still, you know, I feel like him and Gooden and Saberhagen, and there was some amazing pitchers in that era. And it does give you that appreciation for the non-Hall of Famers, but they were it. Like, that was your top tier A list. You know, seeing that year before, 13-7, 2.48 ERA. You know, again, like, if you want to learn about the history, you got to read the back of these cards. That's absolutely true. These little cartoons and nuggets that they leave. And this one I saw, Mangini had a really cool off-cut 75 Topps card that he said it's probably one of one. It's unique. It's like the worst centered card ever. And so I actually came across that and I said, you know what? It doesn't have to be the match game to want to match the Mangini collection. That's for gosh darn sure. So, Tony Perez. Maybe I can say I got a Tony Perez Cubs card. That's kind of fun, right? So, and again, it's a quarter. People, for 17 cents, if you're going to criticize anything about that card's corners or cut or center or anything else, then you are silly. I love that. You know, back stats. That's where you start to appreciate how good Tony Perez really was. Look at those years. Look at those RBIs. 102, 90-some, 120s, 120s. 90, 90s, 100, 100. My golly. RBI machine. So, super cool. And not even done. Again, what does $10 get you? Stuck on the Fernando train. Thought that was neat. 8 shutouts as a rookie. Cool highlight. I mean, the case is probably worth what I paid, right? Kind of interesting. This guy, I feel like, should be Hall of Fame at some point, too. You said who's the best first baseman? For a stretch, it was definitely Mattingly. And also, I think the counterpart, the NL, I would have said Keith Hernandez is the guy. So, that's an 81 Kellogg's. Again, I always grab that oddball box. So you'll see some of that in here. These swell greats. The big Hornsby collector. I just missed out on a Hornsby card last night. Usually when they're rare, I don't mind going a little above, but it was significant percentage above what I thought it was going to go for, so I bowed out. But I did have a pretty epic auction evening last night, so I will share that in the future. So Seaver from the same set. This one is another guy I try to pick up when I can. He seemed like he was good sport, good spirit. When you're nicknamed the Kid, it's him and Griffey, right? Same nickname. But Gary Carter. So that is an 87 Burger King card. Kind of fun. These, I think, came in the packs you'd get at the store. Those big, like, triple, what do you call them, rack packs, maybe? Cello and rack packs and whatever else, but it's a 1987 Topps. And again, like, in the case, what's a top loader worth? A dime? So this was like 17, 18 cents, so technically the card is like sub-dime. It's pretty crazy. Quaker Chewy. Keep it goofy with some Ryan Sandberg time. I mean, it's a full-on awesome card. Stats, highlights, all the stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with collecting that. Some Schmidt time. Schmidt, Sandberg, and Murphy were all my guys. The last one, I love these. So this will be a 84 Topps O-Pee-Chee. Hall of Fame second baseman Joe Morgan. I love the O-Pee-Chees because Topps does like updates and regular issues. O-Pee-Chee must have just issued somewhere between. They're like, well, we have the regular picture, but now he's with the A's, but we don't have a new picture yet, so let's just go ahead and slap that on the card. I always thought that was fun. Super cool. So, Peachy number 210. And that's kind of tail end of Morgan's career, but it's fun. So, that's what I picked up at the card shop for $10. I think that's phenomenal. So, big fan of that. Alright, part 2 of this is going to be showing some other things and then updating some sets. So, first update will be Stan Musial Rawlings. So, this was on my goal target list for the year. I had card 1. I had card 1A. I had card 3. And I had card 4. I said I'd like to pick up one or both, and with great luck, I found an amazing copy of card 2. That is my favorite in that set. It's one of my favorite Stan Musial cards, period. I think that's just such a cool image. It says Stanley Musial, all the good things. So, I love that card. But, there's 6 cards in the set. 2A is pretty elusive. It's a smaller card. Tough to find in good shape, and let's be fair, tough to find at all. So, this thing came up. It was buy it now. I can't remember if they had offer available, but, you know, with how often these come up, I just said, you know what, that's got to be the one. If it was, you know, a degree or 2 worse, I might have said, I'll hold off. But the image is fine. You know, it doesn't have the border that you'd probably prefer, which is why it's just authentic, but image is fine. It is a bit creased when you see it in person. I feel like sometimes, you know, we say if the camera adds 20 pounds, it also, I feel like, bumps it up a grade or 2 sometimes. There's times I'll look at a card like, oof, that's rough. And I look out on camera, I'm like, it came out pretty nice on camera. I feel like I might be labeled as a critic of cards at this point, but it's a little bit harsher in person than the camera might let you believe. But I got it. So, card 2 and 2A were both on my goal list for, I forget if it was the next 12 months or this year, but I did it. I completed the set. Super thrilled. My printer thinks it wants to print for no reason. But the fun of that is now I can, you know, move on. I can display it as a set, and goal accomplished. So, pretty gosh darn cool. 2 other pickups. I just shared my 20-minute Bill Dickey video where I shared this card. This was a Propaganda Montiel Bill Dickey. It's labeled as Bill Dickey. The back says it's Bill Dickey. The image on the front is Gabby Hartnett. How silly is that? So, complete chaos, complete craziness. But one of the really crazy things about that set is they do have another card with a Bill Dickey back. But it's actually Bill Dickey. So, there's 2 Bill Dickey backs. There's 1 Bill Dickey front. So, it's kind of fun that I was able to finally find an actual Bill Dickey picture in that set. Both of those are probably, you know, pop 30 cards. I mean, they're very tough cards. So, to be able to have either one was fun, but to have both is really cool. So, just wanted to update that. And then the last one, this is the first time I've had a card of this particular player. And one of my good friends here in the community, gentleman that I've connected with and chatted back and forth and talked a little hobby and whatnot. Have to get you on a Mount Rushmore episode here. But finally scored one of those. took a quick minute, but I finally have a Joe Wood in my collection. Didn't take a quick minute. I've been collecting for darn near 40 years, so it took 4 decades for me to finally add. And I've never owned a Joe Wood. So Smoky Joe Wood, great player, multi-position, one of the hardest throwers of the era, for sure. But such an iconic history for not being, the Hall of Fame story that you might expect based upon who he is. And his card pricing reflects that he is a Hall of Fame caliber recognized talent and player. So I thought, based upon this being more or less a budget option, this went for a very reasonable price. It's a lower grade card, but these cards, I don't, maybe 2.5 is like the dream grade. I don't see a whole lot wrong with it. It's not an 8, but there's nothing detracting from me enjoying that card whatsoever. I like it. So, great image of Joe Wood. I think it's hard to beat that image, honestly. Take a look at that. It's really cool. So, I have 0 problems with that card. And if you look at it that close, there's not a lot of issues. There's not really even creasing or anything that I can see. If it is, it's minor. But at first appreciation, that's solid. So, very happy with that pickup. Very, very happy. So, that is a wrap. That's it. That's my local card shop pickup. That is my Stan Musial pickup. That is my Bill Dickey pickup. And that is my first ever Joe Wood. So, thank y'all for hanging out. I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a good one.